Originality and subtlety are two things that don't quite apply to these films. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 British movies that shamelessly stole from other films. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we have taken into consideration movies with British actors, directors or producers that have, to varying degrees, recycled scenes and concepts in fairly blatant ways. Warning, spoiler alert.
I've done questionable things.
Also extraordinary things.
Number 10, Outland.
You want me to resign?
No. Just don't come between Shepard and me. Just keep taking your money and looking the other way.
Starring Sean Connery and set in outer space on Jupiter's moon Io, it might at first glance seem strange to say that Outland shamelessly ripped off a 1950s western. This is, however, certainly the case.
I'd like it really soon, or I might just kick your nasty ass all over this room. That's a Marshall joke.
Fred Zinnemann's High Noon was hugely, well, borrowed from by this film that has been accurately described as a space western.
I guess we're both wrong.
Not only are both protagonists intent on chasing down corrupt authority figures, but there is also the attempted and failed rounding up a townsfolk posse before the one man versus many face off at the end. Number 9, Moonraker. This laser-happy 007 romp has definitely been, let's say, inspired by other films in this spy movie franchise.
Moonraker?
What do you know about Moonraker?
What I read in the newspaper, son.
Packed full of Bond cliches in general, it pretty much lifts the plot wholesale from The Spy Who Loved Me, but instead of underwater, it's set in outer space. In Moonraker, Bond is sent around the world before being asked to investigate a hijacked space shuttle, whereas its predecessor involves a globe-trotting adventure culminating in a hijacked atomic submarine.
Observe, Mr. Bond. The instruments of Armageddon.
It even reuses its henchman Jaws. Hashtag Jaws 2. Number 8, Gosford Park.
Lady Lavinia says a woman who travels with no maid has lost her self-respect. She calls it giving in.
A well-received drama set in the 1930s, Gosford Park is full of twists and turns and plenty of upstairs-downstairs shenanigans.
One in each hand.
Why is that then?
Search me.
But what some people may not know is that it took a heck of a lot of its plot from French classic Les Règles du Jeu, or The Rules of the Game as it's known to English-speaking audiences. Much like Gosford Park, Les Règles features an ensemble cast and follows the goings-on and interactions between the upper and lower classes. They are both also based on country house hunting retreats and have characters with shaky morals.
It's too vulgar to be believed.
I wasn't aware of that, sir. They got on well as far as I could see.
Number 7, Harry Brown.
Are you in the middle of a game?
No. Many comparisons can be, and have been, drawn between this Michael Caine thriller and the Charles Bronson-led Death Wish film series. And yeah, we can see why. The storylines are almost identical.
What happened?
He was assaulted.
In Death Wish, Paul Kersey decides to take matters into his own hands after a gang breaks into his low-rent home and murders his wife. Similarly, Harry is a widowed war veteran who sets out to take action and exact revenge against the violent teens in his rundown London neighbourhood, teens who just killed his friend.
You failed to maintain your weapon, son.
Number 6, Eragon.
What are you doing?
Funeral fit for a king.
Maybe this film's lack of success was because it was completely derivative of both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
I think you're a thief.
Ooh.
A poacher.
Oh, no.
I confiscate them all in the name of the king.
The characters' names alone sound like Tolkien rejects. Arya, Hrothgar, Durza and Uncle Garrow. Never mind the fact that it's heavily centered around elves.
You always see like this?
That's nothing. Watch this.
Then there is the Star Wars-esque storyline in which the young male hero chances upon an egg sent by a captive princess who then gets mentored in the fighting ways of an ancient force by an older guy who later sacrifices himself. Come on. Number 5, Krull. Another movie that tried to jump on the Star Wars bandwagon, this truly 1980s piece of cinema is about a prince armed with a fellowship of fighters on a quest to rescue a princess captured by aliens.
Do not use it until you need it.
Whether it's the band of rogues, the cosmic damsel in distress, and the lovable hero, or even just the fighting sound effects and space forest battles, we just can't unsee the heavy influence of the George Lucas franchise from a galaxy far away. This isn't quite the Attack of the Clones we had in mind.
There is no time now for grief.
Number 4, Inception.
Really, the truth we want Fisher to learn.
I mean, what's down there for you?
It's a truly mind-bending epic, but maybe Inception isn't as original as it seems.
Never recreate places from your memory. Always imagine new places.
You gotta draw from stuff you know, right?
It bears a great resemblance to 1984's Dreamscape, a movie in which a man who can enter and manipulate dreams is recruited by the government to help cure the President of the United States of his nuclear war-themed nightmares.
Look, all you gotta do is wake up.
Wake up.
That's right, wake up. Try, concentrate, wake up.
Meanwhile, Christopher Nolan's CGI-heavy Melon Twister is about a man hired to enter a CEO's dreams and plant thoughts. They both even have the persistent villain who pops up constantly to make the mission at hand more complicated.
But what do you believe? What do you feel?
Guilt.
Number 3, Conga.
I am your master, and you must obey me. Now you no longer have any fears.
This 1961 massive monkey movie doesn't even try to sound like it's not a rip-off of, yep, you guessed it, King Kong.
Conga! Conga! Put me down!
No sir, they name-dropped their backdoor source material on the poster. In a completely shameless imitation of the 1933 classic, Conga centers around a doctor who has just returned from Africa with a baby chimp in tow, only for it to grow to a monumental size and wreak havoc across the city of London. If only Dr. Decker had watched King Kong, then perhaps he would have been more aware of the consequences of doing such a thing.
Fantastic. There's a huge monster gorilla that's constantly growing to outlandish proportions, loose in the streets.
Number 2, Blade Runner.
Memories. You're talking about memories.
Ridley Scott's dystopian masterpiece is full of memorable scenes, and the futuristic mise-en-scène was certainly ahead of its time. Or was it?
Embarrassing.
It was based, of course, on Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Visually, there may be a different source. Many shots and running themes seem to mirror those of Fritz Lang's Metropolis. They both feature megacities which are built extremely high, imposing futuristic skyscrapers, flying vehicles, and artificial human beings. Additionally, a lot of the architecture looks very similar, and they both even end with a struggle on a rooftop.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it?
Number 1, Alien.
You take responsibility.
Yes, I'll take responsibility.
This intergalactic gut-busting motion picture is arguably one of Ridley Scott's finest works, but it has definitely been accused of stealing from other sci-fi sources. It, The Terror from Beyond Space, is one particular movie which Scott has been criticised of shamelessly stealing, most notably the idea of an alien sneaking on board a ship and seeing off the crew one by one. Moreover, A.E. Van Vogt, author of The Voyage of the Space Beagle, tried suing 20th Century Fox for stealing his story of an unwanted hitchhiking extraterrestrial. The case was settled out of court, with the results sealed. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.